All right, we have several people joining us. This is Shauna from Jeffco PTA. Thank you for joining us for our supplemental fall conference training. So this one in particular is for reflections. And momentarily I will hand this off to our reflections chair, Cindy Von Singer. She is absolutely wonderful. This is her 10th year doing reflections for us. And I remember when your daughter was doing this as well. So pretty exciting stuff. I will ask everyone to keep their microphones muted. I'll let Cindy introduce her team. And if you have questions, I'll let Cindy open it up when it's time to do so. So I'll share the screen, and Cindy, you just go ahead.
All right. Well, as I said, I've been doing this for 10 years, but of course, this year is going to be very different as we're doing everything online. My presentation here will show you a little bit about how to run the Reflections program in general, and then some specifics about how we're trying to plan to do it online. So, next slide. Or do you want to wait a little bit?
You're good, lady. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Next slide. Okay. So the Reflections program started here in Colorado in 1969. And it's just a great opportunity for students to explore the arts in ways that maybe they don't get a chance to at school, you know, because we have so many different arts categories, and experience the joy and fun of making art. I think this year especially, it'll be a great stress relief to kids to make something that matters. So the artwork must be the original work of the student. It can't be something from a class that they did or where everybody painted the same painting. They need to really think about the theme, which this year is I Matter Because. And then they need to fill out an entry form, and then there's rules for each category of art, and those are all available on the website. So the 6 categories are visual arts, which is drawing, painting, sculpture, jewelry, whatever they want to do. Photography, either film or digital. I think most people do digital these days. Music composition, so that means actually writing a song. And it can be instrumental, it can be vocal. Film production can be live action, it can be documentary, animation. The student needs to be the person who is filming it, as well as editing, doing all the writing, etc. Dance choreography. So if they like to dance, they want to make up a dance to a certain song and record that. That's their dance choreography. Literature can be short stories, essays, poems. The only limit there is 2,000 words. So whatever you want to do. If you're doing this for your school, you can decide on how many categories you want to do. There are 5 grade divisions, as you see up there. Primary and intermediate will be for the elementary schools, middle school and high school. And then there's this category called special artists, and that's for our kids who have disabilities. So maybe they don't fit in with the students of their grade level. And it's up to the parents whether they want to enter the grade level or as a special artist. We get a lot of entries from Fletcher Miller, and some of the kids like to enter as a special artist, and some like to enter as a grade level. It's up to them. One special rule for Jeffco is that we used to get some kids winning multiple awards in the same category. So to counteract that, we have decided that we are limiting the students to 1 entry per art category. So they can enter 1 painting. They can also, though, enter 1 piece of literature and 1 photo and 1 musical piece, etc., but only 1. Okay, so running your program. Here's some pictures of the before times. So first you have to market your program, and then you have to collect your entries. Then they need to be judged, and these judges need to come, and we'll talk a little bit about that, but from outside the school. Display if you can. You know, right now it's, I said it might just be an online display, but it's nice that if everybody's work can be seen by the rest of the school somehow. Then you need to turn in your entry cell district. Normally we have a volunteer for a district level task. I'm probably not going to ask everybody to do that this year just because I just don't know what we're going to have, you know, since we won't have hang day and such, but that might come in the spring. That will be to be seen. And again, pick up your entries. Well, if we're doing all online submissions, that's not going to matter. And then communicate. It's really important that you communicate the results to your schools so they know who won. We do let the kids, individual kids, know when they win, but we don't let the kids know when they didn't win. So as long as you get that word out. And then if you do have physical entries, you need to make sure you return the entries to the students. So setting up your program, to set it up through a PTA in good standing, register through the webpage. You don't need to register in the National PTA site. It's good if you like our Facebook page and sign up for email and all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, you know, because I do keep things going, information out all year. Set your deadlines appropriately so that you leave time for judging, display, etc. This year, our turn-in date for the pieces moving on to Jeffco will be November 16th. So, and
Beautiful.
okay.
Cindy, you are very good at communication. I need to make sure that you are acknowledged for all of that work. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm usually pretty good about answering emails and things too. So, okay, promote your program. This year, instead of selling posters in person, we have some ready to print posters and other materials are available on the website. Then you want the rules and entry forms somehow available. We do have a Jeffco student page, so if you want to link directly to that from your PTA site, then the students can get their information that way. That's really helpful, I think, especially for middle and high school students. I don't know how information's being sent home these days, but do what you can. And I think the biggest thing this year is going to be to enlist teacher help to promote the program to the students. So talk to your music teachers and art teachers and literature teachers and see whether, you know, they could maybe, you know, let students know that this is going on, and it would be a great thing for them to do.
So Cindy, would you tell us a little bit about this poster? I mean, because it's beautiful, and I know you designed this and you've always done this, and I want you to tell people a little bit about this poster, how they can get it and what it benefits.
All right, yeah. So I've always designed a poster, and the proceeds go towards the Jeffco PTA Reflection Scholarship that we'd like to give to one of our graduating seniors who are going into the arts. So if you do print out this poster, we would really appreciate it if you would also donate to the scholarship fund. And that is all available on the website. Again, you can just pay right there through, what is it, Shauna?
Shut her up.
Shut up. Yeah, okay. And yeah, so that really helps us out to help another student.
And I would love to have one in my daughter's room. So I think everybody should.
Yeah. Okay, so how do you get your entries in these times? So once you register as a Reflections chairperson, we'll provide you with a Google entry form and a shared folder on the Jeffco Reflections Google Drive. So on that form, you can click send and get a link to share with your parents so they can fill out the form online. So we don't have to worry about getting paper passed back and forth. And then it'd probably be best if you, as a school, you set up your own Google Drive. You get people to email you their entries, or maybe provide a link directly to it. And then you're going to be using that. You can use that Google Drive then to share with your judges. So. Okay, so judging your entries, this is in general, judges should be recruited from outside the school, professionals, retired teachers, teachers from other schools, local college programs. We have some documents again on the website that gives a lot more lists of ways to get some judges. They need to be unbiased, they need to be anonymous, and when they judge your entries, they can choose 3 entries from each category in each grade division to move on. It's very important to remember those 2 words, category, grade division. So, judging entries in the age of COVID-19. This is how we're doing it at Jeffco. If you have another idea, that's welcome as well. So here's my Google Drive, and I set it up so that there's going to be a folder for each arts category and each grade division. And as I get any entries, I'm going to put them in there. And then, okay, so that's the first step. And then when we receive it, put it in the correct folder. Then once I have all the entry forms on the Google form, you can create a data sheet. And then you can download that into your Excel, and I'm going to divide it up among the various judges. So here's all the visual arts people from my visual arts judges, and they'll have the artist statements, they'll have the title and the kids' names. I'm probably going to take out all their personal contact information when I create this sheet to move on, because I think it's kind of nice to keep that private. There's no strict rules about that, but I think it's kind of nice. Then you share that folder, you put that data sheet and share that folder with your judge. Well, let's see how that works. So as you can see here, this is just some screenshots. So this is what my primary film folder would look like. There's a bunch of films there. There's a data sheet. So you click on one of the films, and it's kind of hard when I don't have my pointer. And click on one of the films and it'll just come up for them and they can watch the film. And then they can click on the data sheet and read the artist statement so they understand, where they were coming from. And that's the way that they can choose their winners. In general, displaying your entries is a great way to promote the program. Bulletin boards and such, again, depends on the school. I'm going to look into a way to maybe create a website slideshow or something like that. In the past,
I can do that for you.
Okay. I mean, I've always had, or for the past few years, you've been able to click on a winner's name and see their work, but it's kind of a one at a time thing. So anyway, something like that.
Well,
okay, celebrating your winners in general. Ribbons are nice, print certificates. Having an awards evening is nice. Maybe that might be a Zoom awards meeting. And, maybe, invite some special guests or school personnel. It's always nice.
I think actually the award ceremony this last year went fairly nice considering we're in a pandemic. So you had all the files ready and we showed them right on our Zoom meeting. So at least it was an opportunity to celebrate our kids. And I think they really need that.
Okay. That was probably the state. For Jeffco, we had it the in-person one, but yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah. Moving on to the next level, it's important for you to, send us, your Google Forms. Once you get the data sheet, send just the winners on to Jeffco. Again, volunteering. I don't know what the volunteer slots are going to look like. We'll see. Prepare your entries to turn in, and I've got a document online about the best way to prepare for online turn-in and how to name your files, etc. So turn-in, usually we have a turn-in day. This will just be upload them to your file, into your folder. So, and then you normally need to pick up your entries, but not this year. Okay, so we're doing it this way. So I said there's preparing reflection entries for online submission. And I give you some hints about the best way to take pictures, etc. And then there's a naming protocol, and that's really important because I can't have a bunch of files named image001.jpg or reflections.mp3s, and which I've gotten in the past, and I've had to rename them. So this year I would like everybody to follow the same format, and it will speed things along. And then once you have them, upload your winners to that Google Drive folder that I provided you with, let us know, and we'll take it from there. So what happens to your entries after this? So first, you have the individual school programs. Entries are collected, judged, and displayed. 3 works, 3 awards of excellence are given to each arts category in each grade division. So if you're in elementary school, you're probably going to have like 3 visual arts from grades K through 2 and 3 visual arts from 3 through 5, etc. And then we judge them, hopefully display them when possible. And we get to send on 5 awards of excellence and 1 award of merit. So 5 get sent on to the state, but the merit also gets a ribbon. Then the state receives them from all over the place, and they can award 1 gold medal and 2 silver medals free per arts category, per grade division. Their award ceremony is usually in March. Then just the gold medal winners get moved on to the National PTA. National PTA selects 3 awards of excellence and 5 awards of merit. Okay, so resources. Check out how to run your program, and there's some supplemental documents for online submissions. It's all on the Jeffco website, which we'll give you the address in a second. Be sure you register and are signed up for our email newsletter. I said I do send those out regularly to say, hey, this is what you need to be doing now, so that I know this seems a little overwhelming sometimes, but this will take us step by step. Facebook page, I'll throw some things up there from time to time. So if you follow Facebook, like our Facebook page. National PTA site also has a lot of leadership guides, promotional materials. They have some videos you can link to get the kids excited about this. So check that out as well. So here's all our links. So you go to jcpta.org, and then it's programs and then reflections. Then if you are a chairperson, you click on the chairperson link. If you're a student, you can click on the student link, and you can find all that stuff. Here's my email address, jeffcoreflections@gmail.com. I'm very good. We tend to be very good about responding to that. And then here's your spots for National PTA and Colorado State, in case you need that information. So I realize I neglected to introduce my co-chair this year, Lolita, and she is on just audio, but she's going to be helping me this year and taking over in the years to come. So at this point, I guess it's time for questions.
And everyone is welcome to go ahead and unmute yourself. If you want to type your questions in the chat, you can also do that. But you are welcome to unmute yourself and go ahead and speak. Any questions at all?
Hi. I didn't see the location of the Google submissions form when I went on the Jeffco PTA site. Could you be a little more specific where I can find that?
All right. If you register your school,
yeah.
Are you going to be a chairperson at your school?
Yeah, I'm co-chairing with someone, and I believe all of the information is more connected to her name and email.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not sure if there's a way that I can have access as well.
Yeah, you can. If you email me, I can share that folder with you too. I'm sharing a specific folder for each school so that each school has their own Google form. Okay. So it's not all going into Jeffco right away.
Perfect. So I'll just send you an email and then we'll work from there. Okay.
Yep. Well,
Thanks.
let me know what school you are.
Yeah.
Sometimes people
Thanks.
forget that part. And I'll make sure your school folder is shared with you as well.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Anyone else? Feel free to speak up.
Is there a way to, like, is there a form that we could print out and give to the students as well, or is it all online?
You can fill out, there are paper forms. They're part of on the website, you'll see entry forms. And they can fill that out and then you can, type them in. Eventually, you're going to have to type in all the information online one way or another, because if you don't use the Google form, you can use the Excel form that we have out there.
Okay.
But we do need the artist statements this year, which is a little different.
And then, so obviously they'll submit the Google form separately from their actual artwork.
Yes.
So
That's
it'll
why
be
it's really important that they name it
you-
correctly.
Okay. Okay.
You know who it is, what school, what category, all that stuff.
Feel free to speak up, friends. One of the things, if you're a chair of reflections at your school, Cindy talked a little bit earlier about being a unit in good standing. And all of your officers, so your president, secretary, treasurer, vice president, are all getting regular emails from our articulation area vice presidents. And their role is to let everybody know not only about things like this going on in deadlines, but all of those IRS rules that we have to follow. They're not actually PTA rules, they're IRS rules. So to participate in any of the programs for Reflections or any other national program, all of our units have to be in good standing. So you want to make sure that those officers have submitted your officer list so that we can help them through that. And I think things went really well last year. So we have a really great team of AAVPs to help all of our local units. And we're here to answer any questions whatsoever. You'll find all of our emails on the website as well. And we do answer things very promptly. Cindy, I don't know if you want to talk about a little bit too. I know that some of the local units, the pandemic just seems insurmountable or so much work. And, giving you credit, you have recreated this program so to be online in your 10th year. So here we thought it was going to be smooth, but some of the reflections chairs are a little afraid about doing reflections this year. And obviously we want to honor our children and the artwork that they do. So can you talk a little bit about that, or how other people can participate in this if you're
Yeah, we can, if it's just too overwhelming for a school to do it this year, we're going to open it up a little bit more to students submitting directly to Jeffco. And to do that, you need to become a member of the Jeffco PTA. Their parent needs to become a member, because that's kind of the rules of the state, is that you need to be a member of whatever PTA you're participating in. Or at least, if your school's not, then it needs to be this way. And then if you just email me, honestly, I can give you more of the rules. And we are thinking, I'm getting a presentation together, which we'll probably record with Shauna, and get that out so that kids can see exactly how to do that directly to Jeffco PTA this year.
Thank you. Well, and I think it's very important that kids, all of our students, are able to participate in art while we are in this pandemic space. And
Right.
some kids are hybrid, some kids are remote, wherever you are. So I think it's important that we continue honoring our students in this very strange space, and doing the best that we can.
Right. And I think, reflections is something where it's supposed to be the student working on their own anyways, as opposed to working in a classroom. So maybe, it would be a really good thing to at least get out there and, let them have that opportunity.
Absolutely. Anyone else have questions? Please feel free to speak up.
Hi, ladies. This is Kim Bolton. I just am a little confused on the process when a student turns in a physical piece. I think I have my head wrapped around what happens when we get a digital piece, but could you just talk a little bit about what that looks like, since unless we're able to display them in the school, which I hope we still can, but judging is going to be completely virtual, and moving on to Jeffco is going to be virtual. So could you just talk a little bit about what that looks like?
Okay, if judging at your school is going to be virtual,
Yes,
then
yeah, it's gonna be all virtual.
then you need to make sure you can get photographs, really good photographs of any, visual arts pieces. Hopefully they can send you a file for photography.
Okay,
And, obviously dance and film have always been files, and music have always been submitted with files. I guess the other thing would be literature. And I know at elementary school, you tend to get a lot of handwritten ones.
yeah,
You can scan those in and make a PDF from them. If you don't have the means to do that, encourage the parents maybe to go to like a FedEx office or something like that, and they will do it for them.
okay.
I know it's
Just a
a
side
little
note.
extra money, but
Yeah. If you have an iPhone, or any of you have an iPhone, you can scan documents with your iPhone. If you don't know how to do that, you can use the notes feature to do that. If you don't know how and you need to be walked through that, you can email president@jeffcopta.org as well. And I'm happy to walk you through those steps too.
Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful.
So it's basically you need to turn it into a digital, because that's the only way that we're going to accept it at Jeffco.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Anyone else, please feel free. Your questions will actually help other people who may not have made it to this class. So please ask away. All right. Well, we're actually a little early, so being done today, Cindy. Again, it's you can reach Cindy at either reflections@jeffcopta.org or jeffcoreflections@gmail.com. Both of those emails are on the website. You can find anything on the jcpta.org website. Cindy, Lalitha, and Tanya have done an amazing job. Cindy, you have revamped this entire program in your 10th year. So to do it another way during a pandemic, again, I really just ask everyone to, think about the fact that I know it's weird and it's different. It's not the same. And it's really hard to do that pivot during a pandemic with what we have to do. But art is so very important for our students. I can tell you as a mother, Cindy can tell you as a mother, our daughters are both very much into art. So Lalita could tell you about Madhvi as well. And it's so very important that our kids still have access to this program and have tangible access to participate in the arts. So I think this year can be quite an opportunity for all of us and for all kids to do something a little different. It may actually end up making things easier in years in the future. This may change things for a lot of different programs, but this program is so very important. The poster that Cindy made for you, usually those are for sale. You're going to download it. We just asked for a donation. Usually she charges $2 for a poster. They're gorgeous. And we actually
$2 for a printed poster, but $2
Yeah.
then you're going to have to pay $1.50 or something to get them printed someplace else. So
Yeah, but those donations go directly to the scholarship. Cindy doesn't get paid. I don't get paid. None of us get paid. We're all volunteers. They go directly to a student scholarship. And even if your kiddo is not going to participate in Reflections, that poster is absolutely gorgeous. So, I matter. What kid doesn't need that in their room? So think about that. Think about, asking for donations, because our seniors this year, yet again, are also in another strange space, just like our graduates last year. So we want to be able to do what we can to support our seniors who are going forward in the arts. And but take a look at that poster because it's gorgeous. Even if you don't have a senior, it's gorgeous. It's a really wonderful way to support the arts and support our students. And Cindy and I will be back in not too long, so a few weeks or so, talking to those who don't have a reflections program at their school and how we can help them at Jeffco, because again, this is about every child in Jeffco and every child having access to the arts. So thank you. Email us, go to the website, ask your questions. We're here for you. And we are so, so very grateful for all of you for joining us. So thank you. And you have a wonderful day. We'll see some of you on the suicide prevention class momentarily.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.